Good evening, everyone. I want to start today with a simple but powerful question. How many of you have ever been frustrated by delays in your life? Perhaps it was a dream that didn't come true when you thought it would, or an opportunity that slipped through your fingers when you were sure it was your time. Or maybe a goal that was within your reach, yet remained just out of grasp. If you've ever felt the weight of these delays, you're not alone. We've all been there. We've all experienced that moment of doubt, that sense of impatience, or that nagging thought that maybe things just aren't working out for us. But what if I told you that these delays are not obstacles? What if I told you that these setbacks, these waiting periods, are actually the universe divine timing, if you will, preparing you for something greater than you can even imagine? Today, I want to invite you to reframe your perspective. I want to challenge you to see your delays not as roadblocks, but as the very setups for a bigger blessing. Trust the process. Trust that what is for you will be for you at the perfect time. Let's explore how we live in a world where everything happens at the speed of light, or at least it feels that way. With technology, with social media, with the constant flow of information, we have come to expect things immediately. If we want something, whether it's a product, a response, or even a solution to a problem, we expect it to be delivered now. This instant gratification mindset is so deeply ingrained in our society that when we face delays, we become frustrated, impatient, and sometimes even defeated. We think, why isn't this happening for me? What's wrong? Why isn't my success coming as quickly as I thought it would? But here's the thing, what if the delays are not the problem? What if they are actually the very thing that will set us up for success? What if the waiting periods are exactly what we need to grow, develop, and build the resilience required to handle the blessing we're asking for? Think about an athlete training for the Olympics. Do you think they just wake up one morning, step onto the track, and instantly win the gold medal? Of course not. Their journey is long, filled with disappointments and setbacks. There are early mornings, grueling practices, and the constant feeling that they might never be good enough. They fail. They miss out on opportunities to compete. They are delayed. But during these delays, they are developing something far more important than their athletic skill. They are building their strength, endurance, and mental toughness. The delays give them the time to refine their technique, to adjust their approach, and to learn from their mistakes. It's in the waiting periods that they become the champions they are destined to be. Let's take Michael Jordan as an example, one of the greatest basketball players in history. Before he became the legend we know today, he was cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine that. A young Michael Jordan, dreaming of playing professionally, was told he wasn't good enough. That's a devastating delay, isn't it? A rejection, a failure, a moment that could have ended his basketball career before it even began. But instead of giving up, he used that setback to fuel his determination. He spent countless hours practicing, working on his skills, and pushing his limits. That delay didn't crush him, it drove him to be better. In fact, it was the foundation for his greatness. If he hadn't experienced that setback, who knows how different his career would have turned out. The same is true for us. We all face delays. We experience those moments when we think, this is taking longer than I thought. But rather than allowing those moments to define us negatively, we have to see them for what they really are, opportunities to grow. Every delay in your life is giving you the chance to prepare for what's coming next. It's helping you to build the resilience you need to handle the challenges that will arise when you finally reach the next level of success. Success without preparation isn't success at all. It's a flash in the pan that burns out too quickly. The delays are preparing us to handle not only the rewards, but also the responsibilities that come with those rewards. And think about it, when we rush through life trying to skip over the delays, we miss the lessons that are waiting for us. We miss the chance to learn patience, to understand the value of hard work, and to develop the skills we need to truly thrive. Delays, in essence, are not holding us back. They are giving us the space to grow into the people we need to be in order to truly appreciate and manage the blessings we are seeking. And so when the delays come, and they will come, don't see them as barriers. Don't see them as signs of failure or rejection. See them as opportunities. Opportunities to get better, to refine your skills, and to build the character you need to carry your success forward. Just like an athlete, just like Michael Jordan, your delay is not your defeat. It's the divine setup for something bigger, something better, something more powerful than you could have imagined. Keep moving forward and trust that the timing of your journey is perfect. We've all been there. You know that feeling when you want something so badly, when you have a clear vision of what you want your life to look like, and you're determined to get there. You map it out, you work hard, and you give everything you have. But then unexpectedly, the path you thought was so certain starts to shift, and what seemed like a straight line suddenly veers off in another direction. Maybe it's a job you didn't get, a promotion that slipped through your fingers, or a relationship that ended when you least expected it. It's easy in those moments to feel crushed, like you've been rejected or like you failed. But I want to ask you to think back to those times. Think about how you felt when you faced that detour, that delay, that setback. At the time, it may have felt like the end of the world. You may have thought to yourself, this is not how it's supposed to be. This isn't what I wanted, but what if I told you that those detours, those delays were actually leading you to something better? That while you were focused on the road ahead, something even greater was waiting for you around the corner. The truth is, the setbacks we face often serve as redirections, guiding us toward a better path, a better version of ourselves, and a better future. Take a moment to consider Oprah Winfrey. You probably know her story. She's built an empire, has touched millions of lives, and is one of the most influential figures in television history. But let me remind you of something that might surprise you. Oprah was fired from her very first job as a television reporter. Imagine that for a moment. Imagine putting everything you have into your dream, only to be told that you're not good enough, that you don't fit the mold, and that you'll never make it in the very industry you dreamed of being in. Most people would have given up. Most people would have taken that rejection and walked away. But Oprah didn't. She didn't let the rejection define her. Instead, she used it to fuel her journey, and that setback ultimately led her to create her own show, a show that went on to become one of the most successful talk shows in television history. That delay, that rejection, was not the end of her story. It was a redirection. It guided her to her true calling. Now think about your own life. How many times have you faced what you thought was a dead end, only to find that, in hindsight, it was just a detour leading you to something even more fulfilling? Maybe it was a job you didn't get that pushed you to start your own business. Maybe it was a relationship that ended, only to make room for someone who was a much better fit for your future. Maybe it was a project that fell through, but it led you to discover a completely new passion that you never would have considered before. The key is to understand that your delays are not rejections, they're redirections. We tend to fixate on one path, one vision, and when that doesn't work out, we can feel completely lost. But what if what didn't work out was simply not meant to be? What if the job you didn't get wasn't the right fit and something better is waiting for you? What if that promotion that passed you by was just clearing the space for something more aligned with your passion and purpose? The truth is, life is full of unexpected twists, and while it's frustrating in the moment, we often look back and realize that those detours were the very thing that led us to a better place. And think about it. The universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, has a way of guiding us even when we don't understand the path at the time. The delays you face today may be leading you to a future you can't yet see. Your dreams, the ones you've worked so hard for, may not look exactly how you envisioned them, but they might be even more beautiful than you could have imagined. That is the power of redirection. When you experience delays or setbacks, don't see them as signs of failure. And don't see them as the end of the road. See them as opportunities, as moments of divine intervention that are guiding you towards something greater. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. And while it might not look like what you expected, it could be leading you to a place you never even dreamed possible. Trust in the redirection. Trust that the delays you face today are setting you up for a bigger, more fulfilling future. In our world today, everything is faster than ever before. Technology has created an environment where we can have almost anything at the touch of a button, and we're encouraged to keep moving, keep advancing, keep pushing. It's almost as though we've forgotten how to be still. We want what we want, and we want it now. So when things don't go as quickly as we expect, when there's a delay, we can feel frustrated, anxious, or even defeated. We begin to question ourselves, why isn't it happening for me? Why am I still waiting? But here's something that might be difficult to hear. Delays are not just interruptions in our journey, they are lessons. They are there to teach us something fundamental, patience and faith. Patience is often called a virtue, but let's be honest, it's one of the hardest virtues to develop. Patience asks us to pause. It demands that we wait, sometimes for what seems like an eternity, without knowing exactly when or how the end result will come. In our world of instant access and instant results, patience can feel like a challenge that we're not ready for. The longer we wait, the harder it gets to hold on to hope. But in reality, patience isn't simply about waiting. It's about trust. It's about trusting that what's happening right now, even if we can't see it, is part of the bigger picture. It's about trusting that there is a reason for the delay. Think about a seed being planted in the ground. When you plant a seed, there's no immediate sign of growth. It's buried under the soil, hidden from view. For days, weeks, even months, nothing appears on the surface. But underneath, there's a lot happening. The seed is breaking open, roots are beginning to form, and new life is starting to take shape. The delay in its growth isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's a necessary part of the process. The seed needs time to develop in the dark before it can bloom in the light. Our lives, too, are like seeds. When we face delays, when we're not seeing the progress we want, it's easy to become discouraged and question whether anything is happening at all. But just because we don't see immediate results doesn't mean the work isn't being done. The delay is part of our growth. The time we're spending waiting is not wasted time. It's time that is preparing us for what's to come. It's helping us develop the strength, wisdom, and resilience needed to handle the success that's waiting for us on the other side. Faith isn't the absence of delay. It's believing that the delay has a purpose. It's understanding that the things that are meant for us will come when the time is right, and that there's a reason we're being asked to wait. Think about the moments in your life when you've experienced delays. Perhaps it was a job you didn't get, a plan that fell apart, or a dream that seemed just out of reach. It's easy to look at those moments and feel like something went wrong. It's easy to assume that because things didn't happen on our timetable, they will never happen. But when we look back on those delays, how many times have we found that in hindsight, they were exactly what we needed? How many times have we seen that the path we wanted wasn't the right path and a delay led us to something better? Maybe the time spent waiting was teaching us something we needed to learn in order to truly succeed. When we face delays, we are given the gift of time, the time to reflect, to grow, and to build faith. Faith that things will work out even if we don't understand how or when. Faith that the delays we experience are not setbacks, but setups for something better. Faith that the waiting period is part of the process and that the right things are happening at the right time. Patience is not about sitting idly by while life passes us. It's about trusting in the process, trusting that the right things are happening even when we can't see them. It's about knowing that every delay is a step in our journey, a step that's preparing us for the future that's waiting for us. The waiting is not in vain. It is not without purpose. It is in the waiting that we grow, and it is in that growth that we find the strength to handle whatever comes next. So the next time you face a delay, remember that it's not the absence of progress. It's the beginning of something bigger, something better, something that will make all the waiting worthwhile. Trust the process and let patience be your guide. We live in a world where success often looks effortless, especially when we look at others who seem to have everything handed to them. They appear to glide through life with little resistance, skipping over the struggles and delays that seem to bog the rest of us down. But these people seem to have it all: connections, opportunities, and seemingly no setbacks along the way. But if we take a closer look, we might notice something else. They often lack the groundedness that comes from facing adversity. They haven't built the same sense of humility that those of us who've struggled, who've had to wait, can develop. And that's the thing: delays, struggles, and setbacks build character. They are what shape us into the people we need to become to handle success with integrity. There is a powerful truth in the idea that the things we face during times of difficulty shape us. They teach us the value of gratitude, because when things are hard, we learn to appreciate the things that truly matter. We become more aware of the small blessings we might have otherwise overlooked. We learn to treat others with kindness because we know what it feels like to be in need. And through it all, we begin to recognize the deep value of hard work. When we struggle, we see that success is not something that can be handed to us, it must be earned. Take a moment to think about the most successful people you know, people you admire, whether it's for their work, their achievements, or their leadership. Now ask yourself, have they had an easy ride? More often than not, the answer is no. The struggle they faced, the delays they experienced, and the times they thought they might give up, those were the things that shaped them into who they are. It's the struggle that often gives us the depth and the resolve we need to truly succeed. Without the hard times, we wouldn't have the character to sustain our achievements. And think about Steve Jobs, one of the most iconic figures in the world of business. He was the co-founder of Apple, a company that has revolutionized technology and become a global phenomenon. But what many people forget is that Jobs was ousted from Apple, the very company he founded. Imagine that. He built Apple from the ground up, poured his heart and soul into it, and then just like that, he was removed from the company. For most of us, that would have been a crushing blow, a devastating delay that could have ended everything. But Jobs didn't let that defeat him. He didn't let the setback define him negatively. Instead, he used it to fuel the next chapter of his life. During the years he was away from Apple, Jobs didn't give up. He continued to grow, to learn, and to refine his vision. He started new ventures like NextT and Pixar, and each one taught him something invaluable. When he eventually returned to Apple, it wasn't just his experience that made him valuable, it was the depth of understanding he brought with him. The delays, the struggles, the moments of rejection all gave him a renewed sense of purpose. They gave him the resilience he needed to not only save Apple from near collapse, but to propel it to even greater heights. The delays didn't break him, they made him stronger. They built his character and his integrity. And when he returned to Apple, he was a different man, more focused, more determined, and more grounded in his sense of purpose. This is the lesson for all of us. Delays, setbacks, and struggles are not just obstacles, they are opportunities for growth. They shape our character, they teach us persistence, they teach us resilience, and perhaps most importantly, they teach us humility. When everything is handed to us, it's easy to forget how much work, effort, and sacrifice goes into success. But when we've had to fight for it, when we've had to wait for it, we understand it on a deeper level. We develop an appreciation for the journey that can't be shaken, no matter how high we climb. Delays and struggles also help us build integrity. When we face difficulties, we are tested. We are pushed to our limits, and how we respond in those moments reveals the true measure of our character. When do we give up? Do we take shortcuts? Do we lose our integrity in the face of adversity? Or do we rise to the challenge, stay true to our values, and push through? The way we respond to delay shapes who we are, and it shapes the way others perceive us as well. There's a saying that goes, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." While not everything we face will necessarily kill us, the idea remains true. The more we face, the more we are shaped. And it's the tough moments, the delays, the rejections, the setbacks that often make us who we are meant to be. They mold us, they teach us, and they prepare us for the kind of success that lasts. They prepare us for a life where we don't just have things handed to us, but where we've earned every step along the way, building character, integrity, and strength with each challenge we face. So the next time you face a delay or a setback, don't view it as something that is working against you. Instead, understand that it is working for you. It is shaping you into the person you need to be. It is building the character, the resilience, and the integrity you will need to carry your success forward. Embrace the struggle. Trust that the delays are not a detour. They are part of your journey, part of the process that will make you stronger, more grounded, and more capable than you could have ever imagined. We live in a world that runs on urgency. From the moment we wake up to the time we go to sleep, we're constantly rushing to get things done, rushing to achieve our goals, rushing to reach the next milestone. And in this rush, it's easy to forget one of the most fundamental truths about life. Timing is everything. We often look around and compare ourselves to others, wondering why things aren't happening for us the way they seem to be happening for them. We get impatient, frustrated, and we start to question ourselves. Why isn't this happening for me yet? Why am I still waiting? But the truth is, the timing of your life is far more significant than you think. Every delay, every moment of waiting, every pause in your journey is not a mistake. It is part of a larger divine plan. We live in a culture of instant gratification. We're conditioned to believe that if we work hard enough, if we hustle enough, things should happen when we want them to. But life doesn't work like that. The truth is, the most important moments of our lives, the ones that would shape our futures, bring us lasting fulfillment, and help us create real meaning, rarely come in the instant we expect. They don't happen on our timeline. They happen when we are ready for them. Timing is not just a concept, it is the rhythm of our lives, and it's far more significant than we realize. Think about the most beautiful things in life: true love, lasting success, deep friendships, the kind of opportunities that change the course of our lives. When you look at these moments, they rarely arrive at a convenient time. They show up when we least expect them, but when we are most prepared to receive them. I think about love, for instance. We've all heard stories of people who found their soulmate when they were least expecting it, when they had let go of the pressure to find love, when they were focused on something else. Or perhaps we've experienced it ourselves, that perfect job, the breakthrough moment in our careers, the deep connection we never saw coming. These things rarely come when we're forcing them. They come when the timing is right. But here's the thing, it's not just about waiting. It's about being ready. It's about being in a place where we've done the work, where we've grown, and where we're truly prepared for what's next. And think about a plant growing in the soil. If you were to rush it, pulling it up from the ground before it had fully developed, it wouldn't survive. The process of growth requires time. The roots need to be deep enough to sustain the plant when it finally emerges. The same is true for us. We are constantly growing, evolving, and being shaped in ways we can't always see or understand. It's easy to feel discouraged during the waiting periods, especially when we can't see the fruits of our labor immediately. But the truth is, every delay is part of our growth process. We're being prepared for something greater. The right opportunity will come when we are ready for it, not a moment before. I want to remind you that your life's journey is unfolding as it should. Every experience you have, every delay you face is part of your preparation for the next phase of your life. What's meant for you will come to you at the perfect moment. This is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of trust. Trust that the timing of your life is unfolding just as it's supposed to. Trust that the moments you're waiting for are not delayed by accident. They're being shaped to align perfectly with where you are in your life and what you're ready to receive. Trusting the timing of your life doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It doesn't mean waiting passively for life to come to you. It means putting in the work, staying focused on your journey, and allowing the process to unfold in its own time. It means understanding that there are moments of growth that happen in silence behind the scenes before you can see the results. It means embracing the uncertainty, knowing that what's meant for you is already on its way, even if you can't see it yet. One of the greatest things you can do in life is to trust the timing of your journey. When things don't happen the way you expected or at the time you wanted, it's easy to think that something is wrong, that you've somehow failed. But more often than not, it's simply that the universe or whatever higher power you believe in has a bigger plan for you than you could imagine. What's meant for you will come when you are ready. It's a beautiful thing to know that in the waiting there is a purpose. So I encourage you to let go of the need to rush. Let go of the pressure to force things to happen. Trust that the timing of your life is exactly what it should be. Trust that the right opportunities, relationships, and moments will come when you are ready. What is meant for you will not pass you by. It will arrive at the perfect time when you have the strength, the wisdom, and the resilience to truly receive it. You don't have to force it. You don't have to chase it. Just trust that the timing is unfolding as it should. Keep moving forward, stay patient, and trust that what is meant for you is already on its way. The next time you find yourself facing a delay, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal aspirations, pause for a moment. Rather than seeing it as a setback, shift your perspective and recognize it for what it truly is, a setup. This isn't just an obstacle in your path. It's a redirection, a divine intervention, if you will, designed to guide you towards something greater than you could have ever anticipated. It's easy to get caught up in frustration, to feel like things are happening to you as though you're being held back. But I want to challenge that thinking. The truth is, these delays are not meant to hold you down. They are meant to lift you up, to prepare you for the bigger blessings that lie ahead. In the moments of waiting, something beautiful happens. You grow, you evolve, you develop. The most significant transformations in our lives rarely come from the moments when everything is going smoothly. It's when we face the unexpected, when things don't go according to plan, that we learn the most about who we are and what we're truly capable of. When life doesn't give us exactly what we want in the moment we think we need it, we are given an opportunity to grow, to develop patience, to trust in the process, and to trust in ourselves. It's hard to embrace waiting, isn't it? It's uncomfortable. The uncertainty, the ambiguity of not knowing when or how something will happen can be incredibly unnerving. We live in a world that teaches us to seek instant results, instant gratification. So when things don't come on our timeline, it's easy to feel like we're falling behind. But here's the secret. That waiting period is not wasted time. Every moment you spend in delay is a moment you're being shaped. Every second of waiting is preparing you for the next step, for the next chapter. And when it's finally your time, when the opportunity comes, you will be ready, not just in terms of your skills or knowledge, but in terms of your character, your resilience, and your ability to handle the blessing that's headed your way. The delays you're experiencing right now are not there to punish you. They're to prepare you. Preparation isn't always glamorous. It doesn't always feel comfortable. Sometimes it feels like we're stuck, like we're spinning our wheels without moving forward. But trust that in the moments of stillness, in the moments of seeming inactivity, the universe or life itself is quietly working behind the scenes to shape you into the person who can carry the weight of the success that is waiting for you. You don't always have to understand the process. You just have to trust it. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, and trust that when the time is right, everything will fall into place. This is where faith comes in. It's easy to believe when things are going well, when everything is falling into place and we can see the results of our hard work. But faith is built in the moments when we can't see the outcome, when we can't see the road ahead. It's in the moments of delay that we have the opportunity to strengthen our faith, not just in life, but in ourselves. Trust that what is meant for you is not only coming, but it's coming at the right time. And when it arrives, it will be more than worth the wait. You are exactly where you need to be. Even if it doesn't feel that way right now, even if it feels like you're stuck or behind, trust that this moment is preparing you for the future that awaits. Every delay, every challenge, every roadblock is part of the path that will lead you to something bigger, something more meaningful. Your blessing is on its way. And when it arrives, you'll look back and realize that the waiting was not just a part of the process, it was the very thing that made the blessing so much more powerful. So embrace the wait. Don't rush through it. Don't try to force things to happen. Trust the process. Trust that life is working behind the scenes, arranging the perfect conditions for you to succeed. Your time will come, and it will be far better than you ever imagined. When you trust the timing of your life, you'll discover that everything you need, every experience, every lesson, every opportunity is already on its way. And when it arrives, you'll be ready to receive it. Thank you.